Right, first things first, before you threaten to shank my dog or spunk in my Cocoa Pops, because I really like Cocoa Pops, just calm down, okay? I'm so sorry. The Premier League predictions, the video that I love to make because I can talk to you guys about my opinions on football and the league. I hate it because no one agrees with whatever I say. So, let's get into it. If you guys do enjoy, make sure to smash a like button down below. And if I do say that your team won't be in top 4 or your team will be getting relegated, I am so sorry. I literally can't please everyone. Also, just in case I'm not like a top knowledgeable guy on football, okay, I haven't got a degree in Football Manager, and I want you guys to do something right now in the comments. I want you to put down your top 6 and your bottom 3 for the Premier League this season. I want to know what you guys think. This is more of a discussion kind of video, but because I'm giving you guys my opinion, but I also want to hear yours. By the way, lads, this is from a perspective of a Burnley fan, so I went to pretty much most of the games last season, home and away, so I've got a good idea of how all teams play and what I should expect from them. So yeah, so let's get into it. So bottom 3, okay, so 20th place, I'm gonna say, I feel so harsh because it feels like everyone's going against them, but look at their current signings. What I want to see is Premier League experience. What I want to see is Premier League quality, and that's why I'm putting Huddersfield in 20th place. Now, I like them because as a Burnley fan, I see part of myself. I see part of Burnley in Huddersfield. You know, a small, like up northern team in the Premier League. You know, this is their first time in the Premier League, and for Burnley, it took us 3 seasons to get the, get a hang of the Premier League, get the experience, get the know-how of what to expect. And I think Huddersfield, I don't think that they have the experience for it yet. Tommins will be a good player as well, but it's again not Premier League proven. But I do think he can show up with a few good goals next season. But for the rest of the team, like their defence and all that, I just don't think they have what it takes. So I do feel really harsh putting in there because as a Burnley fan, I kind of want to cheer on the smaller teams. Well, not smaller teams in any disrespect, but you know what I mean. So yeah, sorry Huddersfield fans. In 19th place, I'm going to be putting down Swansea. Now, the reason why I'm putting in Swansea is that looking at who they've signed Tammy Abraham, yep, but he's not experienced in Premier League. He may get like 5-6 goals in the season. You can send that rookie Messi guy. Yet again, he seems to rate in La Liga, but we don't really know how he's going to perform. If he's going to be the replacement for Sigurdsson, that's just not good enough. They haven't made any other signings other than that. That's actually noteworthy. And look at who they've lost. They've lost Jack Cook to us. Amat, one of the centre-backs, or one of the defenders, lost again. And it all depends on if they keep or if they sell Sigurdsson. And if they do keep him, they're fair enough. GG. But I just can't see them keeping him, man, because I think that he wants to move on. Even let's say if they do sell him, they sign for 50 million around there. They haven't got that much time left to use that 50 million though, because they're keeping on to him. So I think if they were smart, they'll just sell him and then just get a replacement straight away. Also, I don't know if their manager Paul Clement is really ready for it yet. I don't know, man. But Swansea, I think that defensively wise, they're not good enough. So yeah, sorry lads. Now for the last relegation spot, I think it's gonna be stupidly close between like 3, 4 teams, 5 teams. I think it's going to be so tight this year. So to put someone in that 18th spot, it's literally just a roll of a dice of who's going to make it up there. But for me, if I'm going to put one team there, I've got to put in Brighton. I have to, man. The only reason why, hear me out before Brighton fans start shouting at me. I mean, I remember playing against Brighton Championship season, and for example, last season, last 3 games of the season, he only had to win one of them of the last 3 games to win the title, and they drew 2 and they lost 1. So I think mentality wise, I don't think they've got what it takes. I think they bottled at the end of last season so massively that I think that they're just not ready for it yet. I don't know, man, because they've signed that Easy Brown guy. I don't think he's Premier League proven yet. They've also got some good players already, like Knockout, like Dunk. I don't know, man, but like legit, I just don't think they've signed some other players like that Gross guy. Apparently he's a decent left back, but I just think mentality wise, I think they're gonna sort that out. And of course, it's a roll of a dice. We don't know what's gonna happen, but for me, if I could put any team there, it'd be Brighton, just because of how they ended off last season, how they just flopped massively when they all had to do is just win 1 more game. And that shows to me that their mentality is probably not as strong as what people think it is. So my 18th spot is going to be going to Brighton. Okay, so that's the bottom 3 done. So those 3 teams now will hate me. So which is, I'm fine with that. So let's go 17th place. And for me, I'm going to be going with Watford. Now, the reason I'm going with Watford is that just the sheer amount of managerial changes they make, it's ridiculous, and I think one day it's not going to work for them. And of course, they've signed Marco Silva, which is the previous Hull manager, and he did a fairly decent job there. But at the end, they still got relegated. And seeing who they've signed, you know, Tom Cleverley, Will Hughes from Derby, Chalobah, I mean, I don't think they've massively improved their squad. And I believe if you're not improving it, then you're going backwards. They're a weird team to predict because sometimes they play well against some massive teams like Arsenal and Man United, and then they just seem to just be meh for like the rest of the games. So for me, I'm putting Watford 17th. In 16th is going to be Stoke City. I just don't think they've yet again really improved much. They've signed Darren Fletcher and Kurt Zouma from a loan from Chelsea, and that's really it. I think Darren Fletcher is an alright signing, but will it be good enough? They've just lost Marco Arnautovic to West Ham, and when you look at their team, what else have they really got on top? They got Berahino, they've lost John Walters, so I think they could be quite. And they could be in a quite weird position this season. Maybe it's just me, but I just got a feeling that Stoke can get dragged down a bit more than what they would prefer to be. So, especially with Arnautovic going, I think it could be a massive miss this season. So in 15th, I'm putting in Burnley. Now, before you guys say, oh, are you a Burnley fan? Oh, of course you put them there. Okay, hear me out here, lads. Now, I've been hearing people say that, oh yeah, well, Burnley, they just survived last season. Lads, other than the first 2 weeks of the Premier League season last year, we survived the rest of the year. Like, we was outside the relegation zone comfortably for the rest of the season. So, I don't get where this mentality is coming from. We survived quite comfortably last season. We had an away form which was absolutely shocking, so I'm expecting that to be a bit better. Our home form, we did solely rely on that. Of course, people say that Michael Keane went, but we've replaced him with a lad that we already knew was going to be replacing him since like a year and a half ago. Also, having statistically wise one of the best goalkeepers in the league are back. We've also got Robbie Brady as well, which I believe that his set pieces will be massive for us. Maybe I'm biased still, maybe I'm biased, but just from what I've seen from also last season, I think that we have the mentality, we have the structure in us. I think Sean Dyche is one of the best managers in the league. And yeah, I'm just going to say 15. So, shout to me all you want, guys. 14th place, Newcastle. Now, I think that just from Rafa Benitez alone, he should have what it takes to keep him up. But I think it could still be a bit sketchy, though. Looking at who they signed, they haven't really signed, like, a big player. You know, they've signed Jacob Murphy, Manquillo from Atletico Madrid, even though he was previously at Sunderland. And, like, look at who they signed. They haven't really signed a massive, you know, big-name player, which you would expect a team like Newcastle to make. Gale up front, I think he'll be doing decent this season. But yeah, I think that Newcastle, it could still be a roll of the dice, but I'm expecting to make one big signing before the transfer window shuts. 13th place, West Brom. They're just West Brom in it. They're just there, and they're just a solid team, and no one really enjoys to play against West Brom. Of course, as a Burnley fan, I can't say anything, but they're just a hard team to break down, and I think Joe Rodriguez is their only actual signing so far. I expect them just to be quite comfortable as what they usually are each season, and I'm gonna go with 13th place. In 12th place, Crystal Palace. I believe that just the flair that they have in a team with Zaha down the wings and Benteke up top, I believe they are more than a solid enough side to have a comfortable season next season, I believe. So I think that it all kind of depends on how De Boer settles into the Premier League and how he settles in. I believe he'll do alright. I believe he's a statistically alright manager, but I just think that they'll just be quite comfortable. I think they've got a good enough team that they should be quite safe in Premier League. So 12th place with Crystal Palace. And now in 11th place, I'm putting down Southampton. The reason why I'm putting in Southampton is because they haven't really made any signings. Like, legit, they've made no signings. They've got a new manager and one guy from Lech Poznan, and that's it. I'm a firm believer in that if you're not going forwards, you're going backwards. So, I'm putting them in 11th place for me and just missing out on top 10. I mean, in 10th place, I'm putting in Bournemouth. And the reason why really is Jermaine Defoe. I think he's a top-class striker. I think that he will do a lot better in a Bournemouth team compared to a Sunderland team. And I think that just him alone should take them to a top 10 finish. And, yeah. Not much else to say. They've got Begovic in net, a much better goalkeeper. I think they've had some goalkeeper issues in the last few seasons. So, yeah. I'm putting in 10th place with Bournemouth. That means in 9th place, I'm putting in Leicester. And the reason I'm putting in Leicester is that, yet again, similar to last season, I mean, they could have got relegated last season. People are actually worried they were going to get relegated. Of course, they've got no Champions League football this time, so we made us see how to do with that. But look at who they signed instead. Harry Maguire from Hull, solid centre-back. And they've also signed Iborra from Sevilla, a very solid signing. But we're not too sure if Morez is going to stay out or go or not. We just don't really know what's going to happen. So they're going to be having Albrighton, and I don't know, man. But 9th place, I think Leicester. For Leicester is a quite nice position for them to be. Now, this is the part that things can get controversial. so please don't shank me. So, in 8th place, and even though they've made a really good bargain, I think it could be one of the bargains of the summer, I'm going to be putting West Ham, and the reason why is that is their defence and it's their stadium. I think that they're still really weird at the stadium now. I don't think they've really actually settled in there. And plus with the defence, I think the defence can really like be a downfall a lot. So even though they've signed Arnautovic, they've signed Chicharito, I think that the defence, even though with Joe Hart in net, I just don't think that would be enough for them. I think they really need to get a solid centre back. And then we look at 7th place, and that's where I'm putting Everton. And the reason why I believe that Everton may come above West Ham is probably because of how much they've improved the entire team. They've improved their goalkeeper, they've improved their midfield, their defence, their attack. I think Klassen will be a top quality signing for next season. They've also got Ramirez from Malaga up top, also improving their defence with Michael Keane. Thanks for that, by the way. Also, Wayne Rooney, I think he still has it in him to be a good signing and to still be a proven... Well, he is a proven Premier striker. I think that he can still get 10-15 goals a season for them. So, with all that added up, I'm putting Everton 7th place. So this is where things get really serious. And, by the way, just need to say again, this is an opinion. Please don't kill me if I don't put your team where you want them to be. Please just don't. So in 6th place, it's Arsenal. And the reason why I'm saying Arsenal is that I just don't think Arsene Wenger has it anymore. And as long as Arsene Wenger is there, mentality wise, I don't think they have it. They've signed Lacazette. I love Lacazette. If you guys know me from my FIFA channels, you know that I love him, man. But just mentality wise, they haven't got it. I just can't see it. Of course, it is a massive if they keep Sanchez now. I think from looking at things right now, he could potentially stay. I would love to see Arsene Wenger win the win the Premier League, and then he can ride off into the sunset. But I just can't see it, man. So personally, I'm putting Arsenal 6th place. In 5th place, and this is going to really piss off Arsenal fans. 5th place is going to be Tottenham, and massively reason why is that they're the only team still to not sign a single player this transfer window. Plus, adding on to that, they are going to be playing at Wembley next season, which, as we all know, their record at Wembley is not that good. You know, in the Champions League and stuff like that. So I think that could be a massive factor for the Champions League next season. I think they may try and focus a lot more on that. But yeah, it's of course the top 6 is the hardest thing to say because all teams have got so many good players. You just don't know what's going to happen. But for Tottenham, I think Wembley is going to massively defer them. My mentality is that if you're not improving, you're going backwards. So, and they've signed no one. Of course, I'm not saying that their team isn't good enough to be in top 4, but all it takes is one injury to Harry Kane or Dele Alli, and I think they could be in a bit of trouble, especially if it's Harry Kane, because I don't think their strikers is potentially, I don't think Yasin is good enough. So all it takes is one injury, and that could be a massive issue for them. So that's why I'm putting 5th place, Tottenham Hotspur. That means we were remaining with the top 4. And top 4, I'm going to be putting down Chelsea in 4th place. Very hard for me to put them in 4th place, but I'm putting them in 4th place. I think losing Diego Costa and replacing Morata, I don't think Morata is as good as Diego Costa, especially as he's not proven in the Premier League. Not saying he won't be good, but I just don't think that they've improved striker-wise yet. Looking at them, midfield, they've signed Bakayoko, yet again, not a world-class player. I don't think, not saying that he won't be, but I think he's not yet. And then we're looking at the defense. They've signed Rudiger from Roma, and you know he's a decent player on FIFA. But yet again, we don't know if he's Premier League, if he's a title-winning centre-back yet. So yeah, I'm just putting Chelsea 4th place. So for 3rd place, I'm going to be putting down Liverpool. And the reason why I'm saying Liverpool is that I think that their attack is so good, man. I think this can be so rapid. My only issue with Liverpool is that I don't think defensively wise they are good enough. So I think that could be the difference between them falling out of top 4 to staying in the top 4. Is the fact that Liverpool's attack is so, they got Mane, Coutinho if he does stay, but they've still got Salah, Sturridge if he stays healthy. I just like the look of how Liverpool is run, and looking at the defense, they've only signed Robertson as a defensive, as a defensive player. That could be the issue with them falling below. Their attack for me is one of the best in the league, but when it comes to their defense, that's a massive issue for me, especially their goalkeeper position as well. So I'm putting them in 3rd place. So of course, lads, there's only 2 teams left, and it's between Manchester United and Manchester City, and I just know that either one that I pick, I'm gonna piss people off. So I am very sorry for that. But for me, looking at the 2 teams, I'm more looking at the depth of the squad, not the actual starting 11. But if they pick up injuries, if they do this, if they do that, I think that depth-wise and what I believe should be the better team on paper, I'm putting Manchester United 2nd and Manchester City 1st place. Now, when I look at the attack of Man City, I look at Aguero, Gabriel Jesus, I look at De Bruyne, one of the best cams in the league, the best cam in the league for me. They've also got Bernardo Silva, they signed him as well. I think he'd be a decent signing for them. They've got pace, they've got Sterling, they've got Sané, they've got so many attacking options, man. And one thing about Man City that I always say is that their defence is not good enough. And look at what they've done. They signed Kyle Walker, Danilo, Mendy. Of course, they're all fullbacks, but the depth-wise of how much that adds to it. They've got Otamendi back, their midfield as well. They've got Fernandinho. I think they could still improve their midfield just a little tiny bit, but compared to Man United, I think that they have better depth. They got better in most positions. Now, of course, look at Man United, got Lukaku and Dobb. I think he should be a 25 to 30 goal striker next season. They've also got Paul Pogba as well. Best midfielder in the league for me, in my opinion. But yet again, it's the defence for me, which I'm just not too sure. Of course, they're signing a Matic as well. I believe that their back 4 isn't as solid as Man City's, and of course, in my opinion, they've got the best midfield in the league. But when it comes to best attack, I think City has the best attack, and when it comes to best defence, it's a mixture of a bunch of other clubs, and I would rather have a better attack than a better midfield, and I think that City does have a better defence than Man United, and there's so many things that can change the season, and that's just my opinion, lads. So hope you guys did enjoy this video. Let me know down below your opinions. Am I wrong here? Am I, that I am most likely wrong? People are gonna say I know nothing about football. It is just my opinion, lads. From what I've seen this season, from what I saw last season, this is my opinion, lads, and hope you guys do accept that. So smash the like button if you guys did enjoy. I'm just looking forward to so many hate comments in today's video, but hey, it's all fun and games, isn't it? But yeah, the Premier League is just over a week away now, so I'm so looking forward to it, man. I'm so pumped for it, and I know you guys. Hope you guys are also. So yeah, lads, hope you guys do enjoy. Thank you guys for watching. My name is Vizeh. See you next time.